Hi guys, welcome back. So it's that time again, prediction time, this time for round 4 of the Six Nations 2023. And the question is, are Ireland unstoppable? So last time, round 3, I did manage to gain some places, about 200 places in the Guinness Pint Predictor League. I needed it because I was languishing a bit in the middle of the pack. I'm about 67, something like that. I need to make some bold calls, I think, if I want to get any higher, not play it safe anymore. So let's get into the games, and it's going to start off with Italy versus Wales. And goodness me, I don't think I've ever been so excited about an Italy game. This is so finely balanced. Both sides have got a lot to play for at the bottom of the table if they're going to come out of the Six Nations with some positives there. Now, if I was an Italian fan, the things that would worry me are their defence goes into little phases of lapse where they go really porous, then they tighten it back up. From the beginning, they need to be really tight against Wales. Wales' attack hasn't been that great, but, they've had more time together. You'd expect it to be better, but Italy needs to be right on their defence right from the beginning. And also, they've tended to overplay from deep. That seems to be the way they've been coached, so I probably expect them to carry that on, but it still worries me. Positives-wise, well, their attack has looked amazing at times, so intricate, plus they've got the skills to go with it, and those individuals that I've said in the past have been lacking are really stepping up. Some class players there. The back row of Negri, Lamaro and Canone seems really good, really finely balanced, very attacking as well, good at the breakdown. I like Menoncello at 12. I think he adds a lot of physicality and pace in the centres there. And Capewatsu, of course, we know at 15 is an absolute phenomenal guy at beating a player. For Wales, the worry for Welsh fans is they've just not had any evidence that their game is particularly good in any particular part of their game. I guess the positive is it can't get any worse, or can it? They don't really know what their best team is, so we'll see what the selection is. That'll be very interesting to see. Their attacking systems seem quite basic, so they're going to have to really improve that, I think, if they're going to beat Italy, and they're going to have to pull something out of the bag, a big away win. It's going to have to be the best performance by a long way, and I think because of that, I'm going to have to predict Italy by 5 points. Just from the logic I've seen before me, Italy look a better team. Wales could come back a lot better in this game, but we haven't seen it so far, so I'm saying Italy by 5. What do you guys say? Then on to England versus France, and I'm going to make a bold play here. As an England fan, I think I'm going to back my team, even though my head says France are too strong. They can score at any point from some bulldozing phases that are impossible to stop, or some individual brilliance as well and their offloads. But I think I'm going to need to make a bold prediction to get up in the league, and let's have a go at it. Be quite good fun. Now, I've talked about England in length in previous videos, so I'm not going to go over any of that. But I haven't seen England breaking from deep, breaking from nothing yet, so that's something I'd like to see. And their Nick Evans attack is going to have to come alive if they're going to beat France. They're going to have to, I think, at least equal the number of tries that French score. It's a bit of a long shot, but I'm going for England to win by 3 points. Is it a bit of hope overhead? Maybe, but I think it's the bold prediction I'm going to need for this prediction league. And then on to Scotland versus Ireland. 2 teams right in it to win the Six Nations. Obviously Ireland, they're right on top with 3 wins from 3. And out of all the games, I expect this one to be the most free-flowing of all the round. Scotland, they're not going to die wondering. They're going to chuck that ball around. It's going to be exciting. But from what I've seen, I'm banking on that Irish defence maintaining their cohesion, not getting the gaps, and keeping Scotland out enough that they can start to strangle the game and exert that dominance. And yes, on this prediction, I just can't see Ireland not winning just because they're on a roll. The bandwagon is gathering momentum and confidence. I think about 7 points for Ireland, even though Scotland are going to give it absolutely everything. And that keeps the Grand Slam alive for Ireland, of course. Plus, there's another big boost for them. A plethora of quality players returning from injury might be available for selection, the likes of Tadhg Furlong, Gibson Park and others. So I think that's just another boost in their already good campaign. And I just want to talk about Ireland as a whole, what's gone so well for them. And a lot of comparisons have been made with the Irish and Welsh systems, because the Welsh have kind of tried to copy them, although, obviously with disastrous results, hasn't worked at all. Why has the Irish system worked so well? Well, of course, these things are incredibly complicated, but certainly Ireland has a larger private school base, a feeder system to going into those provinces, especially Leinster, which Wales probably doesn't have. Plus their provinces, the 4 provinces, aren't manufactured. They've got historical identity, much easier for fans to get behind them, support them passionately, and most importantly, turn up to the games and pay the ticket fees. Ireland also is a country in itself, has more private investors, a bigger economy, bigger sponsors. That helps as well. And even though the provinces do have big private investment, the IRFU do have a decent say over how much game time players play and who plays for who and that sort of thing. And we've got to praise their coach recruitment. Joe Smith started it all off with a really structured team that stuck to a game plan, very efficient, very low error. And Andy Farrell's managed to carry that on with the same efficiency but add more unpredictability and complexity in attack. It's really worked so well. Plus the players coming through the system have developed their skills so much more than they used to have. I remember Irish media saying, oh, our forwards just can't be ball players like other teams, but they can now. And the other thing as well, physicality, I think they've stepped that up as well. I mean, just looking at the players, for example, I've said one reservation has been they might struggle against bigger teams, but they beat France easily. And physically, you look at their pack, they're right up there, the likes of Porter, James Ryan. Doris has certainly upped his physicality. Van der Fleer has certainly upped his physicality over recent years. They've got McCloskey in at 12 they can use as well, a massive 12. And if they really want to supersize, they haven't even used Coombs yet, so he could come in as well. And then the depth over certain positions is staggering. At hooker, you've got Sheehan, Kelleher, Herring. At tight head, a really difficult position to fill at a world-class level. You've got Furlong. When he was injured, Beelum came in and looked great. Then he got injured and Tom O'Toole came in and looked good. And now Furlong's back. That's what quality of depth can do. In the second row, we saw Baird come in and do a great job. Gibson Park in his absence, we've seen Casey come in and do really well. Murray still looking good. And then at fly half, the question was, can Ross Byrne step up to Sexton's shoes? And yeah, I think he has. I've had reservations about him. I think it's just a problem I have because he looks a little bit worried when he plays. He's got that look on his face, that natural look where he looks a little bit scared, but I don't think he is at all. And he's been playing really, really well. And like I said, McCloskey stepping up to the centres is a big plus. We haven't even seen Osborne yet in the centres, who I think could be someone to back up Ringrose, because that's an area that's been shown to be wanting. They need another quality 13 and maybe another open side to back up Josh van der Fleer. Let me know what you think. But yeah, for all those reasons, I can't see past Ireland not winning, so I'm saying Ireland by 7. Those are all my predictions. Let me know what your predictions would be, and all those comments below on round 4, what you think is going to happen and why, and I'll catch you next time.